What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Carrasco Ranch. In this video, I'm going to discuss why you may not be seeing deer. So there's a couple of reasons why you may not be seeing deer at your feeders or at your bait piles. And if you're wondering where I'm going, I'm actually going to one of my stands. I thought I'd take this opportunity to make this video as I'm walking to my stand. So I have a little bit of corn and some my bow, which I'm actually going to stop here, basically freshen up my my scent drag as I'm talking to you guys, because we're about to cross some, two trails. And I know that's trails that the deer do use, so I just want to make sure I cover up my scent. So this doesn't really pertain to that video, but for you guys that are interested, it's basically what I do. I just basically give it a little squirt, then I keep on walking, pick up my stuff and keep on walking. All right, so we're doing this a little bit of vlogging style, that way I can kind of keep on walking, keep on getting my hunt on, and film this video. So one of the reasons you may not be seeing deer on your feeders, on the trail cameras by your feeders, is that these bucks, the older bucks at least, depending on how much pressure you have in your area, they may be aware of that. And if they're aware of that, they're not going to be hanging around your feeders. There is an exception when you might start seeing bigger bucks around your feeders, and that's usually during the rut. Most of the time they're not coming to come feed, they're usually coming to come scent check that area. They're scent checking the does, seeing if any are receptive. In my other video I uploaded, I explained the reason and the importance of having does and keeping them during that rut, and that's the reason why. Alright guys, so I'm going to get back with you when I'm in my stand. We're approaching my stand now, so when I'm back with you, I'll be in the stand. Alright guys, so we're back in the tripod now. It's still really early, so I'm comfortable talking right now. Got some corn out in front of us. But so a second reason why you may not be seeing bucks at your feeders is depends on the location of your feeder. If your feeder is in a wide open space, wide open area, the deer may not feel comfortable coming to that because they don't feel safe. Deer want to feel safe when they're eating. They want to be able to feel safe where they can run off if they need to, but they can also see what's approaching. So some things I've seen here in South Texas being done is there'll be a block of just cover, just thick cover, and there will be a feeder right outside that cover, and out to this side will be an open pasture. So they have the open pasture, the feeder, and the cover. The deer are usually bedded down in that cover. They come out during dawn or early morning, come and feed, but yet they can still see what's approaching in front of them. They can see coyotes, foxes, anything that might be a predator to them, or even humans. They can see us passing through that pasture if they need to. So that's one reason you may not be seeing deer at your place at the feeders. Now, a third reason you may not be seeing deer at your feeders is, I know specifically down here for South Texas, it applies to us. That's why we try to eliminate them, and that's hogs. Hogs are very aggressive towards deer, especially the big mature boars. They definitely would run off your deer. So it's very important that you maintain those hogs, because they will run off your deer. I've seen them on camera, on video, just chasing deer. So if you have a lot of hogs on your property and they're feeding at your feeders, it's a good idea to get rid of those hogs. One of the ways to minimize hogs coming to your feeders is to put up maybe like a 3-foot fence all the way around your feeders, wide enough for the deer to be able to jump over and have enough room to land. Because if not, they will run off the deer, and the deer will not feel comfortable coming and eating at the feeders. A fourth reason why you may not be seeing deer at your feeders is your property is too good. Your property has a great amount of nutrition. The deer are getting everything they need from your property to where they don't need to come and eat corn out of a feeder. If you have a very healthy property, they're more than likely getting a lot of nutrition and a lot of value out of the rest of your property that they don't have to come and look for corn. Um, the does probably will come every now and then and look for corn, but the bigger bucks, if they're getting everything they need, they're not going to come over here and check for corn. They're going to stay eating the higher protein content that you may have on your property, especially if it's in a safer area for them as well. A fifth reason why you may not be seeing deer at your feeders or at your locations is if you're hunting these deer very hard, you're checking trail cameras very hard, um, you're leaving a lot of scent. So when I check trail cameras during the season, I usually will use some type of scent drag or eliminate my scent as much as possible. You're never going to eliminate your scent 100%. It's impossible to do that. But what you can do is minimize your scent. If you're checking trail cameras every week or every often every so couple of days, you're definitely leaving your scent, and the deer can pick up on that, and they will not be coming to your feeders because they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel safe. Um, so one thing you can do for that is either you can buy those cellular trail cameras, or you can start checking your trail cameras less often. Instead of doing it 2-3 times a week, do it once a week. If you're already doing it once a week, do it once every 2 weeks. Another way you could also do that is by putting your trail cameras in an easy access place. So if you have cameras, if you have a feeder right off the road and you have your camera on the other side of that road, put it on the other side where you drive off. And say your feeder is here, you have a camera here, road's right here, put the camera on this side. Makes it easier, more convenient for you, and you're impeding on the deer's traffic a lot less as well. So to wrap it all up, guys, sometimes the bigger bucks, they didn't get big by being stupid. They're usually not going to be feeding at feeders. They're a little smarter than that, especially if they're getting pressured. Normally, they will just come and scent check the area, scent check in and around your feeders. Very rarely will they actually come and start feeding at your feeders. That's something I've personally noticed. So what I've started doing is putting up trail cameras on trails, and I actually pick up a lot of my bigger deer off of trails than I do feeders. So that may be something I want to implement on your property. If you're having trouble getting pictures of these big bucks, or even wondering why I don't have any big deer, you may actually have big deer in your property. You don't have their cameras in the right locations. So definitely during the off season, go out and scout your land. The best way to scout it is really on foot. Yeah, you might be leaving a little scent, but it is the off season. The deer more than likely be back. But one thing I will, as a tip, definitely take a scent drag with you, just to be precautious. You don't have to, but I personally do. I usually will put some doe pee on my scent drag and just walk around, check all my properties, check all the trails, check for any antlers that have dropped as well. It's a really good time to be checking out your property, seeing where they're coming from, where they're going, how they're using your property. And like I said earlier, guys, that's why I said it was important to keep your does, because I get a lot of video, a lot of footage, a lot of pictures as well of deer, big bucks just hanging in the background. My feeder will be here, and the deer will be hanging out right in here, and there'll be some does eating. But the bucks usually sometimes won't come out to eat at that corn. And I've always wondered why, and I finally figured it out. They're just scent checking these does, seeing if any are receptive, but they're not actually interested in the corn themselves. They're interested only in those does. So if you haven't already, definitely go check out my video, When to Shoot Does. It'll kind of give you some more tips and advice on when is a proper time to shoot does. So hopefully you can increase your chances of nailing that big buck. So without further ado, guys, I appreciate y'all sticking around. And if you want to see more videos, definitely click on the videos. They're on either of these sides. And definitely stay tuned if you want to see some coyote hunting and bobcat hunting during the off season. Try to be squeezing in some hog hunts as well. So if you want to see stuff like that, definitely subscribe. And until next time, guys, be careful, be good, take care, God bless. And we'll catch you later.